Okay, to find notes on the guitar, you need to know your musical alphabet. All right, so unlike our normal alphabet that starts at A and goes to Z, or Z if you're an American, you're going to start at C, or middle C on the piano. And then it really just goes C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, blah, blah, blah. Right? So it's really just, if you want to start at A, it would go A to G. Yeah. I just had to check in my head to make sure I wasn't telling lies. And then once you know that, in between each one of those letters, there is a semitone, or a half step, in other words. So going A to B, that's a whole tone. Going A and then half a step onto what's called A sharp, that would be a half step or a semitone. I think I said that weird. Anyway, each fret on your guitar is a half step. Okay, so for example, if this is my A string, then first fret on the A string would be a half step up, and that's a semitone. So that note is called A sharp. A half step up from A is A sharp. In other words, if that's B, a half step down from B is B flat, right? So A sharp and B flat are the same note, and it's just the space that's in between A and B. Now there's one of these sharps or flats in between most of the letters, right? So there's A sharp and B flat, there's a D sharp and E flat, there's an F sharp and G flat. You get the idea. That rule kind of goes away between B and C. There's nothing. So if this is B, then a semitone or half step up from B is C. Don't ask me why that is. I don't know. It's some kind of old weird musical rule. But so between B and C, there's no sharp or flat, and also between E and F. So if that's E, first fret on the E string is F, and then you have F sharp, G, G sharp, A, which we already know is the same as the next string. Right? So by that logic, half a step up from there, A sharp, or half a step up on the A string, it's also A sharp. And that's pretty much your musical alphabet. When it comes to finding notes, just remember those rules and you can find pretty much any note on the guitar as long as you know what your strings are. So if you needed to find, I don't know, say you want to find a G on the B string, you'd be like, okay, well, B, C, D, E, F sharp, right? Because E, F, F sharp, G. I don't remember what note I said I was going to find, but if that's G sharp, and so on. And that's really, really useful when learning songs. So definitely get your head around that. I promise you, when it comes to knowing chords and understanding how chords work and figuring out bar chords and all this stuff, you need to know this. Okay? So that's all I have to say about that. Thanks.